Hey Taurus, welcome to your weekly forecast for December 27th through January 2nd. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. A Happy New Year, my darling Taurus. We're going to connect and see what's coming up for the Taurus Collective. You might stumble upon this video outside of the time frame I'm focusing on. That's perfectly fine. You're going to find it whenever you're meant to find it, whenever it's time for you to hear the messages. However, keep in mind, this is a general reading for the Taurus Collective. Therefore, not every single message is going to resonate for you. Take the ones that do, leave the ones that don't, and we're going to go from there and see what messages are coming up here for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I feel like we need one more good little shuffle here. Let's get right on into it, my dears. First card coming up for Taurus is the Hermit. This could be Virgo energy. If you have a Virgo placement, there can be really big shifts and really big changes happening for you in that area of your life. Even if your Virgo placement is Venus, and I didn't mention Venus here when I said Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, because I'm focusing on Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, right? But even if your Virgo placement is Venus, it still counts. I feel like if you have a Virgo placement, there's going to be really big changes or really big shifts in those areas of your life. Now, the reason why I'm saying Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and I'm not including Taurus, Venus, is I make it a point in the weekly forecasts to only focus on you and your energy, and I do the love reading separate. So the love and romance readings for January are already posted. They're linked in the description if you want to check those out. But if you have a Virgo placement, there's going to be big changes and shifts for you in that area of your life. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo that's very impactful or going to be kind of a big part of your process in the next couple of in the next few weeks and months. It doesn't have to be romantic. I feel that this is somebody that is really kind of like mentoring you or opening your eyes. A lot of the times the Hermit card comes up for me in a reading when you're in a situation that's shining light, helping you to discover yourself and understand yourself better. Like you're really beginning to realize what you need, what your expectations are, what your limits are, what your boundaries are, what your non-negotiables are. It's a situation that's really shining light upon you and helping you to understand yourself more fully. And it can be because you're dealing with a person that's like a mirror for you. You're seeing yourself, or you're realizing yourself, or a situation is holding up a mirror to you and you're realizing and you're understanding yourself in the contrast of that situation. So you may be understanding yourself more fully. This is especially true if you're a Taurus that has struggled with the concept of knowing yourself. You might be like, well, what does that mean? How am I supposed to know myself? Or how would I not know myself? Or what does that even mean? Or when people say, be true to thyself. How am I true to thyself? What is it that I'm doing that's not true to myself? I feel the Hermit card is coming up and you're going to figure that out. You're going to figure that out really, really soon, okay? In the very beginning of my spiritual journey, when I was still very scared of the whole psychic thing and I was fighting against it and I thought it was something bad, I thought it was something demonic, someone kind of really pushed me to go to a reader, and I was so scared. I was like shaking the whole time, like, oh my gosh, this lady's like talking to demons. I was so scared, but I still went. And she said, she goes, you're not being true to yourself. You're not being true to yourself. And I had a couple of other readings after that, and they all told me the same thing. You're not being true to yourself. You're hiding who you are. You're hiding who you are. And I didn't know what that meant. I was like, how am I hiding who I am? It was the most, not that I didn't believe it. I was just frustrated that I didn't understand it. Like, what do they mean? And so some of you might have heard that. Maybe you've had readings and somebody has said, you know, oh, you're not being true to yourself. Or you might be watching these videos on YouTube and they're like, it's time to live authentically. And you're like, what in the heck does that mean? How am I living inauthentically? the Hermit card is saying that you're going to start awakening and figuring that out. Those of you, Taurus, who have really been putting a lot of emphasis on healing, right? Like maybe even in 2021, you were like, this is the year I'm going to heal my stuff. This is the year I'm going to clear out all my stuff and all the gunk and be done with it. And you're coming into 2022 and like you're wondering, did I do a good job? Where am I at? Where am I at in my healing process? How much more do I have to go? Well, the truth of it is this, flat out truth, point blank period. Healing is never 100% done. There's always going to be something, and there's always going to be things that arise. It's like housekeeping, right? Like you're going to clean your house, but that's not going to be it for the rest of your life. You're still going to have to go in, regularly and do the upkeep, do the maintenance, right? It's just how it is. Or you don't shower one time and then you never have to shower again. So it's something that is going to be ongoing. But obviously when we get the majority of it done, then it's much easier. There's not as much to do. And so the Hermit card for me represents the stage of healing when you have done everything you need to do to make space, to clear room. You have done everything you need to do to nurture yourself and nourish yourself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. You've gone out and you've filled your cup. And for me, the Hermit is the little caterpillar that went along and ate all the little fruit and ate all the little leaves and, it's nice and full, and it goes and it curls up into its little cocoon. That's what the Hermit is for me. You're the little caterpillar. You're in your little cocoon. You're in your sanctuary. You're in your safe space. You're chilling. You're enjoying the moment. You're enjoying, being there. You're simply resting. And in that time of rest, in that time of non-action, is when the most powerful transformation occurs and the wings begin to grow. All you're doing is resting. You've been on the path, you've been on the journey, and now all you're doing is resting, and through that rest, the wings are beginning to sprout. And then when that caterpillar comes out of the cocoon a butterfly, that butterfly is going to reach places and see things that as a butterfly, that as a caterpillar, it could never even have dreamed of. And so for me, the Hermit is that transition and that transformation. You're in the stage of just kind of resting, chilling, relaxing, and your wings are coming out. And this is directly linked to your authentic self. Your true colors coming to the surface. Your true power coming to the surface. It's a very powerful time for Taurus. Very powerful time. The next card that's coming up here for you, my darlings, is the King of Pentacles. And this is your beautiful, wonderful earth sign energy. This is you connecting with your earth sign self, your earth sign, tendencies, traits. Now, I know a lot of people are used to watching Tarot for Love and Romance, so the major arcana and the court cards are seen as other people coming into the situation, and that can be the case. As I said, some of you might be dealing with a Virgo that's very impactful. Some of you could be dealing with a fellow earth sign, a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. However, you guys know, those of you that watch my videos regularly, in the weekly readings, I want to focus on you. I want it to be about you and do the love separate. So, with the King of Pentacles, okay, and some of you have heard me say this before, the King of Pentacles has a very special meaning for me in my readings. Traditionally, it's a card of investments. It's a card of like using your gifts and your talents in your favor, using your resources in your favor, finding ways to make money with the things that you have. The works of your hands are blessed. The Midas touch, all this kind of energy around the King of Pentacles. However, for me in my readings, the King of Pentacles has a little extra meaning, just a little extra twist to it. And I won't go into the background story because I don't want to make the reading an hour long. But the King of Pentacles for me in my readings comes up when there is a big opportunity coming your way. For some of you, this could be a relationship. If you've been single for a really long time, and if you've been like saying that you're not gonna date, or you're just kind of like, you've let it go, you're like, whatever, if I meet somebody, whatever, but I'm not actively looking. For some of you, it can be a romantic relationship. It can be an opportunity to invest in something. It can be an opportunity in terms of a job, or an offer that's coming for you in terms of career or business. And so the King of Pentacles tells me that we're tempted to turn it down. We might say to ourselves, this sounds wonderful. I would love this, but I don't think they realize who they're offering it to. They're making some kind of mistake. I must have really impressed them. I must have left a really great impression on them, and they think I'm better than I actually am. But I'm really not ready for this. I'm not ready for this promotion. I'm not ready for this chance to transfer into a new department and learn this new skill. I'm not ready for this opportunity, and we're tempted to turn it down. The King of Pentacles says if you weren't ready for it, it wouldn't be here now. It's here now because you are ready for it. Now, when I talk about investments in relationships, be cautious and be careful. I don't mean that any little random thing slipping into your DMs is like, go for that. You need to, everybody's circumstance is different. You need to do your research. If you have somebody from high school reaching out to you in your DMs and they're like, oh, buy Bitcoin or do this or do that. Okay, you might want to research that kind of stuff, right? Or somebody's coming to you and saying, oh, I came across your profile and you're quite tantalizing, do you know who this person is? They could be a catfish. So I don't mean just any random anything falling from the sky. You have to, case by case, use your wisdom, use your caution, do your research, know what you're dealing with. But for many of you, it can be something along the lines of you're being offered a promotion or you're being offered a job. It can be an investment opportunity, but if it is an investment opportunity that's being offered to you, make sure you're doing your homework, make sure you're doing your research, you're educating yourself, and you're not getting caught up into some like fly-by-night kind of situation, because this is a general reading. I'm speaking to many, many people. So I'm not going to say, go all into an investment because you heard something in a general reading. Do your research around investments. Some of you are realizing that you have property, gifts, talents that you can use to expand your income. So maybe you're clearing out a room and you're doing Airbnb. Maybe you have gifts or talents that you're beginning like a hobby that's bringing in money, but you might realize that you have things that are just kind of collecting dust, that hold value, that might be a good idea to sell. I just feel like you're generating income with the things that you have around you. Like you've just been sitting on this money and now you're harvesting it and you're calling it in. The next card that's coming up here for Taurus is the Queen of Wands. Okay. And something about the King of Pentacles followed by the Queen of Wands is giving me the feeling in the sense of balancing masculine and feminine energy and balancing practicality and logic with adventure, taking a risk, taking a walk on the wild side. I feel like you're balancing the two. And maybe for some of you Taurus in the past, you've been very bored or very reckless. Maybe you haven't had a balance of those two. But I feel like you're bringing these aspects of yourself together and helping them work together. You're taking risks, but you're taking educated risks. You're taking gambles, but you're taking educated gambles, and you have safety nets in place. You're not going to gamble to the extent where you're losing your shirt, where you're just flat out busted. And I don't mean literally gambling. I'm not telling you to go to the casino. I mean taking risks in your life, or taking risks in business, or taking risks in relationships even. But you're doing it in a safe way. You're doing it in a responsible way. So the Queen of Wands, some of you have heard me say in previous readings, she tends to come up for me in situations when you begin to open your eyes and you begin to realize that people really benefit from having you around. You may have made a lot of money for your previous bosses and the companies that you've worked for. They may have really benefited from having you around. Your friends and family may really benefit from having you around. But you may find yourself in a situation that anytime you try to speak up and ask for more, you're getting pushed away. You're getting swept under the rug. Oh, Taurus, I wish I could, but I can't. And they might tell you, oh, it's not a big deal, just leave it alone, like it's good as it is, no need to shake it up, no need to change it. It doesn't matter if it's an extra burden for you, it's working for everybody else, just keep things the way that it is. Or, oh, Taurus, I would love to promote you, or I would love to give you a raise, but I can't right now. Oh, but I don't know what I would ever do without you. Please don't ever leave me. This place would fall apart without you. And they start stroking your ego and complimenting you and trying to get you to stay by stroking your ego, right? And so the Queen of Wands for me comes up when you're fed up. You're done. You realized how much you're bringing to the table. You realized how much other people are benefiting from you. And you realize that you're getting the short end of the stick here, so to speak. And you're done with it. You're over it. You're like, this is not okay. I deserve to be compensated fairly, accurately for what I'm bringing to the table. And so you're like, I'm not giving discounts anymore. This is not okay. And so the Queen of Wands gets very angry. In fact, she gets furious. But she uses that anger to create instead of using that anger to destroy. So in a very short period of time, because she's so fueled on that anger, she finds better opportunities. She doesn't settle. There can be a sense of self-employment that emerges, going out and getting a better job, getting a higher pay, somewhere where she's being fairly compensated. But it happens in a short period of time because she realizes that she deserves it. So she has that healthy entitlement, and she has that anger that's pushing her forward, that's motivating her. And so she accomplishes these things in a very short period of time. Some of you have realized for a long time that it hasn't been fair, but you felt like you're not ready to go somewhere else. You might feel like, well, this job, they took a chance on me in the beginning and I learned a lot from them, and so I kind of owe it to them, and maybe I'm still messing up, or maybe I'm not good enough, maybe I'm getting too much of a big head, and maybe I'm not ready to go somewhere else. Maybe I'm not ready for a bigger company or bigger job or bigger pay, or maybe I'm not ready to work for myself. But then you're like, no, I can. I am ready. I can do this. That's the energy that I'm getting here with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands coming together. Characteristics of the Queen of Wands is also somebody who is life of the party, charismatic, independent. There's some words YouTube doesn't want me saying for monetization reasons, so we'll say somebody, it rhymes with Lexi. Girls drink Pepsi to get more blank. I'm really dating myself with that one. Tell me if you remember that. Girls drink Pepsi to get more. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. I don't know why that came in my mind, but it did. Nothing against boys. I just a silly little playground rhyme. Don't get upset with me if you're a guy watching this. I'm not a man basher by any means, at all. So, please don't take offense to that. But the Queen of Wands here is coming up in terms of you coming into these characteristics, this independence, this confidence, this success, right? Creating opportunity. This is beautiful energy, Taurus. I love it. I love this energy. The next card that's coming up here for you guys. Oh my gosh, get out of here. Get out of town. Get out of town. We have the queen, not the queen, I'm sorry, I was going to say the queen of stars. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. It has been crazy. I just recently rescued a dog from the shelter, and that has been a process. Oh my gosh. And trying to get caught up on readings and holidays, so please forgive me if I'm misspeaking here. I don't know why I was going to say Queen of Stars, but the star is here, and this is a major arcana card. So we're starting off with major arcana energy, and we're ending in major arcana energy. So this tells me this is a big week. This is a big week in terms of epiphanies, realizations, even doors opening, opportunities. This is a big week for Taurus. And the star card comes up to tell us, the star follows the tower. If you go through the major arcana, the star is the card that comes after the tower. So in that sense, the star comes with the message that the chaos is over. The drama is over. The worst of it is over. You can expect things to get better now. You can actually make long-term plans that are going to stick, that are going to work, that are going to be successful for you. And so the star card is also coming out of the darkness, a shining light, and a source of inspiration for others. It is income coming to you from more than one avenue, having more than one stream of income. It is financial security in your retirement, in your old age. It is many beautiful and wonderful things. Being seen, being recognized. Right? I don't know why I heard being exalted, and that's kind of tricky there. I don't know what that is. Right? We're not going to exalt ourselves above the heavenly bodies, but I heard being exalted. And that might mean something very specific to somebody out there. Maybe that's something you've been praying about, and maybe exalted has a very specific meaning for you. But that's interesting. I don't know why I just heard that. I heard being exalted. Right? For some of you, maybe this is coming with a sense of redemption. Right? A sense of redemption, people being more respectful towards you and how they're speaking to you, how they're dealing with you, not calling you out of your name. It could be this kind of feeling for a lot of you too. Some of you, Taurus, I'm just going to say flat out, I'm getting a feeling in a sense that you had a very, very, very wild past. And there are people who maybe are not letting you live it down. And they're acting like you made these horrible decisions. You did all these reckless things. But with you having this realization and coming into your authenticity, Taurus, I think you're realizing this week and in the coming weeks that you did the best you possibly could with the options and the tools that you had. You worked with what you had. And you did the best that you could in your circumstances. And people want to sit there and they want to judge, but they don't know what it was to be you. And they sure as heck weren't helping you. So they want to sit there and they want to criticize how you crawled out of the ditch, but they never offered help to pull you out of the ditch. They just want to criticize how you got out of it. And I think you're realizing that you're not going to internalize that anymore. You're not going to take that to heart anymore. Their opinion does not matter. They were not there helping. They cannot talk about how you handled your business or how you got through that difficult time in your life. But the star card tells us the difficult time is over. And now you're coming into work that you are proud of. Now you're coming into stability, success, being ready to be seen, being ready to be appreciated, and realizing how beautiful your journey has been and how beautiful your path has been. And you're coming into this time of security. This is big, big energy. Big, big shift this week for Taurus. And I'm excited for you guys. You may want to check out your moon sign and your rising sign if this is neither. Sometimes your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more. It might add a little extra information that can be helpful. Love and romance readings for January are linked in the description. The 2022 12-month forecasts for all the zodiac signs are posted, and that's linked in the description as well if you want to check out the forecasts for the 2022 calendar year. Now, if you would like a private reading with me, you can schedule at calendly.com/amethystangelite. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears, and the happiest of New Year's. Take care.